Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to y'all.
I hope everyone's having a great week. First, we're going to start off by saying that last week was kind of supposed to be about introducing ourselves, and we didn't really introduce ourselves that well.
We were nervous and just got talking, so we forgot that part of it.
So, do you want to go?
Yep. So, as you know, I'm Vanessa. I am 32 years old, but will be 33 this year. My husband is 33, but will be 34 in April. So that's coming up pretty quick. We've been together for 17 years. We're high school sweethearts. We got together when I was 16, he was 17, and we met at a bowling alley, in Clover. So that's how we met. We have been married now for 11 years. We got married in August. And we have two beautiful, amazing children together. We first had Sawyer. He is now 11. And then we have Peyton, who is 7. She will be 7.
This month.
Yeah.
It's their birthday month.
Both of my kids are born on the 27th, which I absolutely love. And it's now our family's favorite number. That's about it. I don't know. Anything else I should say about my amazing family?
I think that's good. Sums it up nicely.
Yeah.
Okay. I am Tanisha. I am 29. My birthday was just in February, and then I have 3 kids. I guess I should do it in order. Brooklyn, who is almost 10 in May here. Elena this month will be 7, and then Mackenzie, who next month in April will be 5. Yeah. And then I'm married to Joshua. He is 35. His birthday is in October this year. Well, every year, but so he'll be 36 in October. And then we have been together 11 years this July. And we've been married, I don't know. We got married in 2019. So 4 years, I think. And then it'll be 5 years in September. We got married September 20-something. I don't know. I'm not good with dates. No. Well, one time we had to text Tasha and be like, what day did we get married on? Like our first wedding anniversary, we can remember what day it was.
Okay. So you really don't know now?
I think it's the 28th.
I'm terrible with dates.
I think. But how bad is that? It's supposed to be the wife knows and the husband forgets.
I would say my husband also is better with dates than I am, though. I constantly be like, John, how long have we been together? And then he'll tell me and I'll be like, okay, just making sure you knew that.
And the only reason I know that how many years we've been together is because with Brooklyn, I just add 9 months on her age.
That makes sense.
So she's gonna be 10 in May. So that means in July, it'll be 11 years.
Yeah. See, John's favorite number is 11, and we got married on August 11th, so that's my easy way to remember.
Yeah. John has a favorite number?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I mean,
is it a sports thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
I mean, yeah, just like Sawyer, now his number for basketball and baseball are 27. It's just like a family number.
Yeah. So we want to do Winning Wednesday. Every Wednesday we want to focus on how we got 1% better each week from last week.
Taking small strides into getting better every day.
Yeah. So last week my 1% better was I ate my meal plan every single day. I did add on to it a little bit. I had a handful of nuts after work, and then a couple of the days I had a piece of sliced cheese with some lunch meat as a snack. So, because we didn't prep snacks, but I had oatmeal for breakfast, and then for lunch I had this potato beef sauce.
It was like a burger bowl.
Yeah. And then for dinners I had a bag salad, and sometimes Kenzie and I shared, sometimes Josh and I shared, but then I had those snacks on there too. So that was my 1% for last week. Yours?
My 1% better would be probably cleaning up my house and making sure that, it was maintained last week. I think it was last weekend. I worked pretty hard at getting laundry done and getting my room clean. I'm still not fully done with laundry, but I think I left like one load left. So now it's easy to maintain. I think each week I'll focus on making sure my room's clean every night with laundry picked up. And if you guys know me, been to my house, it's a mess. I'm not good at cleaning. I don't like to clean. I like the idea of cleaning. It's just,
But we're working on
I
that.
push it off.
We're working on
but that
it.
is our big thing that we're focusing on. So, making sure my sink is cleared before bed. I did a pretty good job at the beginning of the week, and I felt really good about it. And then this is real. And I'm not going to lie. I got super frustrated with my family because I would unload the dishwasher, or my son would unload the dishwasher because that's his chore. And then they would never load it. They don't put their dishes in the dishwasher. And that's how I grew up. You rinsed your dish, you put it in the dishwasher. So that's what makes sense to me. Where my husband likes to fill the sink, and do the dishes all at once. And dishes gross me out. I can't stand them. When I do the dishes, I am rubber gloved up, and I normally have a candle going because, I don't know, they just gross me out. I need like a whole mindset just to do the dishes. So yeah, I mean, that was probably how I was 1% better, making sure my sink was cleared, cleaning off the counters. I got some really yummy smelling cleaning spray.
Do you feel like dishes, there's like easy ones and hard ones? Because I tell Josh, like, I'll do the easy ones if you do the hard ones. Like, a cup is easy, a plate is easy. Like, it's just like a swooping motion. But then, like, a muffin tin, a whatever, it's like gross. So I'll tell him, I'll be like, babe, if I do the easy dishes, will you do the hard dishes?
Yeah. I mean, John and I he's supposed to do the dishes.
But
That is his duty. But his shoulder. Yes, his shoulder. So yes, he has a great excuse not to do the dishes right now.
But he was doing them.
He still does them. He's not supposed to.
Yeah.
But
Well, explain for the people. We're famous now, and they don't live in our house.
What?
What happened to his shoulder?
Oh, he took on a great hobby of mountain biking. And he just needs to learn how to ride his bike better. Just kidding. Okay, he's hurt his shoulder twice. So he hurt his shoulder one time falling off his bike on a trail. And mind you, mountain biking is not just riding your bike down the street. He is going up jumps and hills and turns and I don't know. I don't know all the proper names for all the things. But
is there names for it?
Yeah, there's like different names for jumps and ripples and I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But he was out of work for like a week. And then he, of course, got better. He was supposed to go through physical therapy, never did. And then he waited like 2 more months and then got hurt again. But this time it was really bad. And his like collarbone was like protruding out of his shoulder. I shouldn't say protruding. It was like trying to work its way out of his body. And then he had to have surgery. He's still not back at work. So he had surgery on January 2nd. He's still recovering. And they want him out of work till April 1st at least, where he can get another MRI and see if he can go back. But yeah, he's not supposed to be doing anything. He's not supposed to be lifting anything. He can't even lift with his left hand over 6 pounds.
They said he can't walk on a treadmill either.
He can't walk on a treadmill, can't work out, and he needs to work out every day. Like, he needs that release. Mm-hmm. So it's been challenging in the home, but he's been managing. Not doing the best job at taking care of himself. I mean, he's definitely doing more than he should be, and he'll say that's my fault.
Hey, no.
That's not my fault.
Okay, so next week, our 1% better. Are we doing the same thing? Like, our 1% better is our morning routines?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So next week, we want to work on our morning routines because I have tried, we're going to do 75 days of a morning routine because I've like, tried the 75-day hard like a million times, soft, medium, whatever. Like, I'm just like thinking that'll like get me whatever. But then I saw a girl on TikTok who did like 75-day, I don't remember what she called it, but then she picked her own things that she did. So it was like, some were fitness, some were not, some were like whatever, but she like picked her own things, and I was like, oh my gosh, we should do that where we pick our own things. So we are doing 75-day morning routine. We're each picking our own morning routine. And then we're going to, probably record them to keep ourselves accountable on TikTok.
Yeah, we're trying real hard to create habits.
Yep.
And, I feel like that is something we both struggle with. We'll start something for a while, do great, and then just kind of dies off.
And it's not even like a just falling off the wagon. Like, I will completely, like, forget about it. And then months later, I'm remembering, like, oh, hey, for, like, a month of my life, I did that thing, and it improved my life, and then I just randomly one day forgot about it. So we're going to do morning routines. And then after the 75 days of morning routines, we're going to do 75 days of nighttime routines and keep the morning routine going.
Yeah, it's big. Hopefully, talking about it will hold us accountable. Recording it every day on, I don't know if we're going to post on TikTok or whatever.
Yeah, probably TikTok.
But that'll hopefully help us stay accountable. Because our last big thing that we decided to try were our bullet journals. How have you been doing on those?
Well, like a couple times a week, I like fill it out.
Well, that's better than me because I've honestly haven't even went back.
Because
lately.
The thing is, so we were supposed to fill it out like every night before bed we were going to do. And so what I'll do is I'll be like, oh, I didn't have soda all week. So then I just box out the whole week and scribble it in, like, because, yeah.
Life happens at night. Nights are stressful in my house.
Well,
it's
and before
the
bullet journals, we were doing where we were texting each other. Do you remember that? When we were picking out our kids' outfits at night and texting them to each other, and then I was supposed to stretch in the morning, and you were supposed to
wake up early,
do your treadmill, and we were gonna Snapchat that to each other, because that is where this all started. Back on a walk in Menasha.
Yeah,
on a Tuesday.
She's a morning person. I am not. That is something I want to get better at. So morning routines I struggle with because I am the person that wakes up right before I have to.
See,
and I don't give myself enough time. And then I'm like scrambling and super stressed out. And that's how I start my morning every day. And I don't want to start my morning like that anymore. I want it to be clean, easy breezy. My kid, Sawyer, is very much about a schedule and like a routine. So I have to have that in place for him. So I need it in place for me too.
See, I'm awake in the morning. And this was when I was a delivery person, I didn't have to be there till what? 8 or whatever. So I would get up 6 a.m. and every morning was randomness. Sometimes I'm starting a little wash, doing some dishes. Other days I'm taking a shower, sweeping and mopping. I don't mind doing, and actually I think I do best before noon. When I had my dad's kids for a summer and my kids, I would get up, I would do my workout, I would start whatever chores I was gonna do, blah blah blah. All of that was done by noon, and then after noon I just couldn't force myself to do anything. But when I get up in the morning, it's never the same. I remember asking my friend, this was maybe even a year ago, I was like, do you do the same thing every morning? And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, because you're always oh, I let the dog out, I brush my teeth, I go to the bathroom, I think she lets her dog out, starts her coffee, goes to the bathroom, grabs her granola bars, puts them in her lunchbox, bloody bloody. And I was like, dang, how are you doing the same thing every single morning? And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, because sometimes I wake up, go to the bathroom, sometimes I don't. I go downstairs, get a cup of water, go back up to the bathroom. Sometimes I start coffee, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I remember deodorant, sometimes I remember to brush my teeth, but it's never, ever, ever in my entire life been consistent. So this morning routine is going to be a huge change.
Yeah. We are all creatures of habit, so we do
I did see a TikTok one time where she like put everything that her daughter needed to do in the morning in like a bucket. And then her daughter could like dump out the bucket, and like her toothbrush, her deodorant, her face wash, like all that was like in there. And then so you dump out the bucket right away when you wake up. And then as you're doing it, you like re-put it into the bucket. So then you know you're done when all your things are like back in the bucket. So mine has never been like a wake up issue. Mine's like I just wing it every day. Which is like crazy. But yeah.
That's what we're working on. We'll get better.
Yeah. And then our major like topic, are you ready to get into it? Our major topic for the day?
Yes, I'm ready.
Parents changing their minds as they evolve as parents.
Yeah, change your mindset as parents. And not feeling...
So, you want to go? You want me to go?
You go first, okay. I think.
So, my, like, major... You know, as I've been a mom for almost 10 years now. I still feel like, am I even an adult? I don't know. But, I'm going to tell a little evolution story, which is a little bit nerve-wracking. But, so, when I, like, first became a mom, I obviously posted, like, all the time. Like, what did we do 10 years ago on Facebook? We updated, you know? Like, I have Facebook posts from when I was in high school, and it was like, walk into this person's house, oh, going skating, oh, babysitting. Like, no one needed to know all that.
I don't know. I grew up with MySpace. That's what I did when I was a kid.
So...
You didn't have Facebook till I was older.
Well, okay. I, like, would take pictures of Brooklyn, post them online, like, just her and her swing, whatever, however it goes. So, then, I don't know. Did I really post that much? I guess I did. Like, my aunt and I took our kids to do a lot of stuff. So, it would be, like, you know, a bunch of trunk or treats, a bunch of those Easter egg hunts that are around town, like, whatever we were doing, and I was, like, posting it. Because, you know, I had a kid at 19, and I wanted to feel like a good mom. Like, I didn't want people to be like, oh, teen mom, blah, blah, blah. I wanted to be like, no, like, I take my kid to do stuff. Like, my kid is my life.
Yeah.
So,
which I think a lot of people do. I mean, post things that they do with their kids.
Yeah. But now we're, like, in the peak, maybe not the peak, but we're in this, like, YouTube family thing where I feel like so many people, like, talk crap about that, and you're posting too much about your kids' lives and blah, blah. So I want to say that for a while, like, I'm trying to think. I think it was after I had Elena for sure, but I don't know if it was after I had Mackenzie or not. But every time I was going to a park, every time we were going to a library, I was taking a picture of it and posting it on Snapchat. So, like, I mean, I take my kids, like, I guess it's been like a roller coaster. When I just had Brooklyn, we didn't really go do parks. That was not, like, what we did. Yeah. We did more, like, activities or going places that you, like, paid money to get into. But once I had more kids, we were doing more, like, free stuff, like parks, libraries, that kind of stuff. So I was posting them online. It was mostly because I wanted, like, validation from my mother-in-law, not gonna lie. So every time we were at a park, every time whatever, I would take a picture of it, put it up on Snapchat. The YMCA, you know, we used to do those family nights where it's the swimming and the, like, our YMCA has that, like, big treehouse area that you can play in. It's kind of like a McDonald's playland if you don't have this at your Y. It's kind of like a McDonald's playland, but big enough for, like, adults. Well, at least when I was 20 years old, I used to run around up in there. So... and I think sometimes they would do bouncy houses because this was pre-COVID. So I would take pictures every single time I went to all this stuff and post it. And, like, just because I wanted, like, my family, like I said, my mother-in-law, to see it and think, oh, Tanisha's a great mom. Then fast forward me doing that for probably like a couple of years. I would see people that I knew from the past, like at a Walmart, at McDonald's, Target, wherever I would see them in public, and they would say to me, you're such a great mom. And then I would look at them and I would be like, what do you mean I'm such a great mom? And I would say that. And they would be like, well, you're always taking your kids to like do stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but that's just because I want them entertained. I'm not trying to sit in my house and do the entertaining. Yeah. I'm trying to bring them somewhere. They're entertained. There's other kids there. There's a new environment. Like, that's the thing about me too. Like, we don't just go to the same library. Like, we rotate out like 5 libraries. Like, I'm not trying to go. And if we like went to one library that month, I know the next month they're going to change out there's this one library in our area. I'm not going to say which one. There's one library in our area that like every month changes out like the whole decor of the library. And so if I knew that we went there that month, I would not go until the next month. So I'm like, in my mind, like, I'm trying to scroll on my phone, to be honest, and them play. Like, I'm trying to have them play and me not do the whatever. So people saying, oh, you're a great mom, I'm like, yeah, you don't know that I'm a great mom. Like, what? So
I think a lot of moms are guilty of that, though, where they post, only when they're doing fun things. I know I'm guilty. I shouldn't say I'm guilty of that, but I do post a lot of, like, stuff when me and my kids are doing stuff because, but that is also when it's, like, calm and there's not all the other distractions, too. Like, it's not everyday life.
But so then, it's easy. I had, like, my own mother would like take me and stuff on Facebook where it's like, what's that one story? I don't know. I've seen it like a handful of times, but it's like, oh, this mom took her daughter to the park. They like were in matching, or not the park, the pool. They were in matching swimsuits. The mom like sat, took a picture, and then the daughter kept saying, let's go swim. And the mom was like on her phone for like 20 minutes and then they packed up and left. And the daughter like never even got to like go swim. And, like, my mom tagged me in that a few times, and I'm like, dang, is that what people are thinking of me? Now I need to post my kids, like, way less, because I don't want people to think I'm only doing these pictures. So then I would post way less. Like, so I'm letting other people determine what I'm posting, how often I'm posting, like, and what do I have? A couple hundred friends, like, maybe 200 Instagram followers. Like, I'm not even, like, this big creator person. It's just, like, I was looking for external validation. Then I got it and it didn't feel like what I wanted to get. And then I stopped doing it. And now, like, fast forward to this last year, and I was looking to do like my yearly recap photos, and I went through and I only chose photos where like my kids weren't looking. So like I have a picture at the fireworks where they're like facing the fireworks and their backs are to me.
Yeah, so you didn't see their face.
Yeah, and like different ones, like I think Brooklyn was giving Elena a piggyback ride and their like faces or whatever, because we saw some, I think they were like Chinese dragon things downtown or something at one thing, and just different like, whatever walks we're on, like Kenzie petting Camo as we're walking, like she's on her bike and he's our dog walking and whatever. So then I chose like those types of photos because I'm like, I don't know, maybe I don't want to post my kids' faces as much. Like,
I think that is becoming more common on social media. I see a lot, and there's a lot of different ways that people do it, like putting something in front of their face, like a heart or just like you said, like with their backs turned, and it's just like a super sweet, candid moment.
Yeah. What I want to know with the people that put the emoji over their face, though, like, honestly, no judgment, is why post that one? Like, why not have it where you're holding the baby and the baby's looking that way and it's the back of the head?
Right, but I guess normally when I see that, I think it's more of like a family photo with like adults. And like you can see all the adults' faces and then it's the child's face.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people are not comfortable posting their kids on social media, and I get it. And I think I'm going to start struggling with that as we're doing more of this.
Yeah.
Like social media stuff, because my social media before was just for my family. I mean, a lot of my family lives an hour away. My husband's family all lives an hour away. So just like trying to keep them updated on our lives, because I'm not good with my phone. We live very busy lives. So that's why I post a lot of things. But now if we're going to be getting
People we don't know.
People we don't know, that worries me a little bit. And I think I need to get in the mindset to maybe not sharing as much, like, personal information in our kids.
Yeah.
Because that is a scary thought that I don't think I thought of as much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, posting where my kids go to school. I don't know, all those things. Kind of scary. My kids starting to get older and be on social media, like things like that. So it's all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. So now, my husband had to have like a few different conversations with me because I'm like, you think you're such a great dad? Like, why and how do you think you're such a great dad? Like, you need to explain it to me. And he's like, I just do. Like, he's like, I don't need my mom. I don't need you. I don't need whatever, like, telling me like, oh, you're a good dad. He's like, I just like know that I'm a good dad and I just believe it and I just feel it.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm like adopting that. Because even when I was only posting for people to say, oh, you're such a great mom, they would say it and I wouldn't believe them. I'd be like, oh, they're lying to me. Oh, they're this. Oh, they're that.
Well, I think the main thing with you is what you were doing wasn't anything like extra or substantial. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was just you being a mom and taking your kids places.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas not a lot of people live a life like that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's crazy to me. Maybe crazy isn't the right word, but it is because, like, I don't know. I'm just like, oh, okay, like, I'm a mom, so I'm gonna do mom stuff.
But we also need, like, that. I feel like that's one thing that both of us are working on, is not caring so much what other parents, other people think of us.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we do care so much. And a lot of times we let it, like, dictate our lives. Kind of, you know, in a way. Like, my kids are being too loud in a public place. Like, I'm the first one to be like, shh, like, quiet down. And what am I doing to my kid? I'm not letting them be a kid. Yeah. I mean, I'll do it at a park.
Yesterday, our kids wanted to go on these swings, so they started running to this swing, and then we saw adults were like walking towards the same direction of our swing, so we look at each other and we're like, do we tell? Because it was one of those like benches and we were by the water, so like our kids wanted to go swing by the water, so they like started running, and then we see like our kids were running through the grass, and then we see like adults walking on the trail, and we're like, oh. Like, do we tell our kids, hey, get off, those adults are coming, but also our kids got there first? Like, it's like such a thing. But then we're like, well, they're kids. Like, they're going to get bored. They're going to get off. So those people did, like, stand there and waited. And our kids, like, so 2 of them, Peyton and Elena, got off and looked at the water, and Mackenzie stayed on the swing. And the, like, lady started walking closer to the swing. And then, like, Kenzie stayed on, so Peyton and Elena like turned to get back onto the swing, and I'm like, oh, this is like an awkward situation. But like, we do kind of just need to like let kids be kids.
Yeah, we do need to let kids be kids. I'll never forget last year at baseball, a mom, I kept shushing my kids, especially Peyton. I have very loud kids. I do. My husband's very loud. They're very loud. It's just the way my family is. But I kept shushing them. And then one mom said, she is louder to you than anyone else. Like, we don't hear her as much, but we hear you shushing her and getting stressed out and, like, just dictating how that whole moment was. And I really, like, I remember that every time I shush my kids. Like, I need to just let them be kids, and it's probably not as loud as I think it is. Yeah. And not bothering some. And I'm probably the one being more annoying than them by shushing them. So, moral of the story, let our kids be kids.
Yeah. And don't look for external validation.
Yes.
Is like a big part of it.
Not care so much.
All right, your parent evolution.
My parent evolution would probably be, so my sister had kids before me, so I feel like I've learned a lot from the way my sisters have parented. And my one thing was I was not going to let my kids on iPads, which I know this is a huge debate, and I'm sure everybody has this this struggle being a mom or dad. But I did not want my kids on iPads. But then we allowed iPads. So it's been a pretty big struggle in our family. I definitely see behavior changes with our kids. My husband is a big gamer. So ultimately my son is a big gamer. So that's another thing, like with iPads and just electronics in general. Playing games. My kids have been on YouTube. I've taken YouTube away a lot. I don't like YouTube. I definitely notice big changes in my kids' attitude with YouTube. And I have cut it out. But it's weaned its way back in my house, unfortunately. With other kids and my kids hanging out with other kids, it's a hard balance, I feel. Of course, we have restrictions on their things, but the time that they're allowed on their iPads, we've struggled and went back and forth. I know some families only do like an hour a day. We've tried that. And it's such a big fight trying to get them off of the iPads. And a lot of times I'm so exhausted at the end of the day where I either give in or I fight my kids and then they yell at me and say they hate me and things like that. So it's very challenging. We've started a new thing. I would say, how long?
At least a couple weeks.
A couple of weeks. My husband kind of...
Maybe a couple months.
Yeah.
Because probably since John's been home, right?
Yeah.
So January, February, we're starting March.
Yep. Where my kids have to kind of work for their electronics. That is one of the first things that we do take away when they are in trouble is their electronics. And now we've implied that they have to do chores or get their chores done before they're allowed to go on their electronics. And during the week, they're really not allowed on their electronics at all. We live very busy with sports and everything. Every night we normally have something going on. So it's been pretty easy, I guess, to take it out during the week. And sometimes we will reward them with it. So if they do extra chores, they may get 30 minutes on their iPad or video games. But I will say my kids can then go on the weekends, but they have to get still their chores done before they're allowed to go on the weekend. I will say that Peyton, I think her iPad the other day I noticed was in my car for like 3 days. She doesn't even ask for it really anymore. So that's been amazing.
Yeah, Elena's, when hers dies and she can't find a charger, sometimes it's like a week. But then the week after, she's like almost extra. I don't know. Maybe not extra on it. But Elena very much fluctuates. Brooklyn lately, Brooklyn has been like kind of weird. And like, she'll be like, oh, I'm gonna like so we ask for like arts and crafts stuff for Christmas. And she got like a pack of, what even is that, construction paper that's all those rainbow colors. So she cuts them out and makes hand puppets. So like the mouthpiece, and sometimes they have teeth and sometimes whatever, and then she puts like different eyes and different whatever on the top and makes different hand puppets. And she has been on it less. That's like a newer thing for her. Like we had like I think it's supposed to be like a living room set end table, which is now up in her room, and she took like all of her like craft stuff that she got from Christmas and put it on that table. And she uses Josh's hunting chair. We need to like get it together in this house. She like uses Josh's like folding like little, I think it's a hunting chair, but he has ice fishing chairs that are like the exact same. But they're like the little collapsible, like, I don't even know what they're called, like tri-fold thingies, and they're short. And she has one of those by there, and she's been like, yesterday, she's like, Mom, I like haven't been on my iPad yet today. And it's like afternoon on a weekend, and I was like, dang, like, way to go. And then she's like, look, I like added details. She took tape and like ripped it kind of, and then put it on the little, I don't know what she calls them, the little hand puppets head to like have different like textures on it. So, but Elena forever has been like, oh, my iPad's been dead for a week. My iPad's been at Nana's for a week or whatever, like Elena, whatever. And Kenzie doesn't have an iPad yet. But
I will say one more thing about taking away the electronics. So my kids are, how many years apart? Why can't I think? I can't do math right now.
she's going to be
They're
7
4
and
years
he's
apart.
11. 7, 8, 9, 10,
Yeah, 4 years apart. And I noticed with me taking the electronics away, they've been playing more. So they play a lot together. Will say it's quite challenging that when they do start to fight, that is one thing where I'm like, want to go back as a mom, be like, just separate, go on your iPads, go on your video games so you guys aren't fighting. But I really have to keep reminding myself that this is what I want. I want them playing. I want them working through their problems when they're fighting and to kind of figure it out on their own. And then, normally then they're back playing,
Yeah.
So I just got to get through that where my mind is just zooming because there's so much commotion going on, because that really gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was how
Yeah, and added to that, my husband also, he's an on again, off again gamer. He very much fluctuates in his hobbies. Sometimes it's RC cars. Sometimes it's, I don't even know sometimes it's biking. There was like a long time where he like did these bike challenges. He was like he had his picture in New York Times, like for some kids cancer bike thing. I don't even know. Yeah.
Really?
He really fluctuates in his hobbies, but his current hobby, and in the past hobby, has been gaming. He's like an on and off gamer. So he's very much like, we need to let them do it. They need to know how, because he will like tell me, like, Tanisha, you can't use computers, you can't use whatever. Like, our kids need to be able to. Because, like, I am very, like, I don't know how to use this computer, babe, help me, like, freaking out. I don't know how to, like, use my phone, like, half the time, like, basically I'm a boomer over here. So, Josh is, like, the kids need to know how to, like, use all this type of stuff. So, he's a big proponent for them having, like, screens, iPads, games, like letting them play the Switch or the Xbox or whatever. We're new to having an Xbox. Sometimes he's had like gaming computers, so like it's always something different. So, that's that. But he like loves the technology part, and I'm more the anti-technology part.
I don't like technology.
So
hurts my eyeballs.
Yeah.
Struggling real hard with that lately.
Okay.
Trying to watch stuff.
Go on to, if you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see the book. Our book, Hustle, Believe, Receive, is, we wanted to do a book every episode, a new book.
Yeah, we wanted to be able to read a full book in a week, but life happens. And it was a crazy week.
Yeah. I had a child sick Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I was sick Saturday. So, fun times.
I mean, I fell asleep reading this book this week. So, in my hands, which I don't think I've ever done before, but I've been needing my sleep.
Yeah, we have been working very hard. Pat on the back for both of us with just the podcast, the background of it all, the learning computers, lots of YouTubing, how to do certain things. So, yeah. But the book, Hustle, Believe, Receive, we are almost halfway. Almost. Kind of.
Almost.
So we are not probably going to be doing a book a week like originally intended, but whatever we have read, we're going to like go over with you, for you.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to read the book, or if you do, we're going to tell you like our favorite parts. The books that have homework assignments will tell you, what they are.
Yeah.
Do a little recap, because that like holds us accountable to the like homework portion part of it. So, Hustle, Believe, Receive, where is it in here? Oh, in like the beginning, she says, Sarah Centrella, if you don't know what you want, you will never know when you've got it. So that's a post that she has on her office wall, and I'm like, dang, it's true. Because how do you know when you've got it if you don't know what you were going for?
Right.
I'm a big, like, dreamer. So that's kind of not my problem. Here you go. Because I've always been told, like, to dream smaller. So that's not really my problem. Do you want to get into that part now? Or after you read your portions?
No, we can. So just about dreaming. I mean, like you're saying, you're a big dreamer.
And Josh kind of does say, like, you need to be realistic. And not only Josh, but, like, I've had friends, other people say, like, be more realistic about my big, huge dreams and goals.
Mm-hmm.
And so then in the book, she talks about her son wanting, do you know the player? I don't even know what sport it is.
Yeah, Michael Orr.
Yeah. So he
Which I'm sure everyone has seen The Blind Side. Michael Orr's from
the football.
That movie's about Michael
where they
Orr, which
in the truck hit the other. Is that the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the big guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and the rich person takes him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, a lot of bad things have came out about that movie, but ultimately, her son wanted to meet Michael Orr. That was his dream in life. She asked him what he wanted for his birthday? Or what a big dream he wanted for the year, something like that.
And he said that. And so then Vanessa and I, like, we were driving, we were, I don't know, walking something. Mm-hmm. And we're like, that's a big dream for a kid to have. Like, do we tell our kids to dream big enough?
Yeah, well, and that's what I said to you. I realized that I don't think I let my kids dream enough. Or I guess I wouldn't know exactly what they would pick. I feel like if I asked my child that, they would say that they want ice cream or McDonald's.
Elena's, like, her biggest thing is a yes day. Like, she wants a yes day. And I'm like, well, what would we do, like, if you got a yes day? Mm-hmm. And it'll be like, oh, we, like, go to Target and pick out a toy. Or I think the one time it was, like, go to, like, a water park. Which we frequent water parks, okay? Like, we are water park goers a couple times a year. Like, it's so... I mean, that's not really out of the ordinary. But yeah, she kind of does ask for more, like, ordinary stuff. So we were like, dang, like, I'm a huge dreamer, but their dad is, like, a realistic, in quotes, type of person. So now we need to figure out, you know, that's one of our to-dos.
Well, yeah, and just having, like, big goals. And obviously goals change. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought back, too, because she talks about, like, what you wanted to be when you got older. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't really remember what I wanted to be when I got older. The only thing I could think of was being a teacher. And then I was like, well, what do my kids want to be? You know, I feel like when you're a kid, you have such a big imagination, and those are the things that you're thinking of. Like, I want to be a doctor when I get older. Or they see someone, you know, like Peyton for a long time wanted to work at Starbucks and be a coffee maker because I love coffee. And, you know, but other than that, I cannot think of what else they would want to be. So I really want to focus on, you know, what my kid, like,
well, Sawyer has that big dream. Are you going to share it or no? Where he wants to go to college?
Like, he wants to play college football, yeah.
But you said that, and I'm like, dang, like, my kids have never...
I mean, he wants to play for, why can't I think?
It's not Yale. What is that?
No,
I don't know sports.
My mother-in-law would be really happy. New Orleans, purple, LSU. He wants to play for LSU, or he wants to play, I think, for Washington State, are his dreams. So far. So
Brooklyn wants to be an art teacher. So I guess that, like, you do have to go to college to be a teacher. Mm-hmm. But, like, you know, I guess maybe that's the difference because y'all are a sport family. So Sawyer would, like, know names of, like, bigger colleges, right? Do you watch college?
Yeah, but then sports? We don't have cable, so we don't watch a ton of things. But he definitely, like, goes online and watches things. And he plays video games. I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know where US or LSU and Washington State came from, but...
Okay. So Brooklyn wants to be an art teacher, or a van lifer, or she wants to do art teaching and then be a van lifer in the summer.
I love that.
And then Elena wants to be a stay-at-home mom. And I'm like, well, you probably got to have some type of job before you just be a stay-at-home mom. She said other things like a vet or I don't really know what else. And Kenzie always says she wants to be a doctor. But Elena's like big on like the mom thing. Like she doesn't, we talk about breastfeeding. She's like, I don't want them to bite me. Like the first time they bite me, they're done. They're not breastfeeding anymore. Like Elena's like, you know, big into that. And Kenzie always says doctor, but I've never asked why. But I do. So we do with our kids, like 3 things you're grateful for, 3 things you're excited about, and like something you're manifesting. Like when I pick them up from school, I try and do that. And they just like always say they're excited about like whatever holidays, and then their birthday is always in there, and then Christmas is always in there. So I think I want to like kind of alter it and change it a little bit to get them to think.
When you do your gratefuls and what you're happy for, do you say yours?
They don't
with
ask
them?
mine. I don't say mine. We just do theirs.
Well, right there. Do
Oh,
yours.
yeah, I guess. I mean, not that they don't ask mine. Like I could just say mine, but usually by the time they get through theirs, we're home from school. It doesn't go on to me. Sometimes when we're on longer
sometimes
rides.
Start it with yours.
When we're on longer rides, sometimes they'll ask Josh. And Josh is like, really?
I think that would help them, like, kind of think of other things, too.
Yeah. Oh, each of them have gone through their I want to be a YouTuber phase as well. Which I'm like, well, you can make decent money off of that, but it, like, people have to like you. Like, I want, you know, I mean, if it's fulfilling, it's fulfilling, but.
Yeah. All right.
You want to read?
Do I want to? So there's just some, like, quotes or sentences that I really took out of the book that I really, really liked. And one of them, you know, is you have to remove the phrase, I'll be happy when, from your vocabulary. So, I mean, that goes off to say, you know, if you're thinking negative things about yourself, it's never going to happen. And to be good to yourself, because there are days when you won't see any progress. And you're just going to constantly think that. Right?
Yeah. I mean, you also can't be like, oh, I'll be happy when I'm 100 pounds. Like, you have to, like, be happy and grateful for, like, every stage of that. And also, like, you can't wait on your happiness. Like, for me, like, I want to buy a house so bad. But I can't be so much, I'll be happy when we buy a house, where, like, I don't enjoy, you know, the house
journey.
that we have now.
Yeah. And, like, the journey getting there, the things you've done, you're going to miss out on all that if all you can think are the negatives.
Yeah.
And, you know, life changes. Things are going to change. And a lot of times how you work your way out of it.
Yeah.
All right. So that was
the first.
And then...
Hold on. We got to find the second. I mean, I don't know. I love this book. Do you love it? I'm excited for when we get to the future board part, because
I am loving it.
And then she has a future board book, because what is it? I saw a bunch of TikToks that were like, the new year we're restarting the new year to March. Some people were saying March 1st. Some people were saying March 4th because it's a Monday. But then I saw, is it the Lunar New Year? That's March 19th or something. Oh, it's the solar equinox or something. So they were saying, like, realistically, like, and I've heard this before, you should do your, like, vision boards or future boards in the spring, because now is when like new birth, like the plants, the baby animals, like all that stuff is like being born in the spring. So I mean, we'll get those like the bullet journals that we did.
We'll get back at it.
All right, you found it?
I found it. So this one I feel like really resonated with me right now, with all the new adventures that we're starting. And, you know, like we said before, we've been working really hard, which of course takes time away from our family. So this one is, I had to release myself of the guilt of being a mom who's also working, because I know that what I'm doing is bettering my family. Balance is one of those things that is an illusion when you're building something from the ground up. If you're striving just for balance, especially as a mom, there is no such thing. Maybe that will come later, but when you're in the hustle, there's no time for balance.
Mm-hmm.
So that has been a huge struggle with both of us, with feeling guilty. And that goes from starting our gym routine,
Yep.
you know, being together more, starting our podcast, you know, just taking time away from them. So that's why we're coming at you so early in the morning with our podcast too,
Yep.
is our kids are sleeping, you know, so we're going to take that time to get it done, and then we can go home and have all the time with our kids.
Oh yeah, here's another thing I was going to say today, was that if you are the type of mom who tries to stay up late to get things done and then oversleeps the next morning, like, you're our people. You are the target audience, because we have been pulling a lot of like late nights, but then there are some mornings where like we are like, there's been some nights where we're running on like 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And I am like an 8 to 12 hour a night person, because I work like an earlier job in the morning. And I've always like gone to bed, by like
we're on
7, 8
opposite
o'clock.
schedules. I'm a night person. She's a morning person.
But there's been like years now where I'm in bed by 8 o'clock. Like, you're trying to call me at 8:30, I'm asleep. Like, so now in this season, we cannot like stay up late and then accidentally oversleep a little bit the next morning, because I do not wake up to my alarms. And it doesn't like negate, it doesn't take away all that work I got done. Like last night.
Yeah. I mean, now we're starting our day late. It's now, you know, making it more of a struggle the next day.
But it doesn't like subtract what we got done staying up late, you know? So like I can't in my head.
I get what you're saying.
You know, like I can't be like, oh, like now today is lost. No, it's like, let's just pick it up. Let's just keep going. Let's just get it done. Like, because on the back end, we've been taking different classes for some different stuff. We've been, you know, recording, learning how to edit. Neither one of us are that great with computers. So it's
last Tuesday, our first day of launch, going into Wednesday morning, we got together at like, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night. And, you know, finished getting our podcast 100%. And she stayed at my house till 2 a.m. to launch it.
And then I get home at 2:30. Kenzie starts puking at 2:40. So, yeah.
Life's of being a mom. Never stops.
But it was Sawyer's birthday also. So
it was Sawyer's birthday. So we had to get together later.
Because I did not want to be over there doing work on Sawyer's birthday.
Yes.
So once the kids went to sleep. So that was good. We're doing it. I'm proud of us. Hopefully we're inspirational, aspirational to y'all. You know? We don't want the moms that feel like all these other moms have it all together, and then you guys feel like alone, or no one sees the struggle like we see the struggle. We get the struggle. And we struggle together. Like, is this an excuse? Like, we've said that to each other before.
Like, are we just making an excuse for ourselves, or can we really do it?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's an internal struggle that we've been navigating, and we want to share along the way. So the next
mom guilt is real. So then the last quote that I marked here was, she says, one of her biggest pet peeves is when people say, I can't. It's something that she does not allow to be said in her house. And I loved that. Yeah. And that's something I want to instill with my children, because they can do whatever they want, their heart desires. Yep. And that is something that I need to, I guess, I don't know, just instill in them, because I think that is in my vocabulary way too much. Yeah. I don't have the time. I can't do it. I can't lose weight. I can't do my makeup. I can't do all these things, which I can. Yeah. So we hope this resonated with y'all. We hope you loved it. Do we have any other closing things to say? With the book, tune in TikTok. We've been doing our assignments on TikTok. Yeah. So you'll kind of see those.
The first assignment was a bucket list. The second assignment was listing out your gratefuls, why you're grateful for them, envisioning your life without them, envisioning your life with them, being extra grateful for them. You know? It's great. We made it to an hour on this podcast. Last week, we were like thinking we were at a half an hour, and we were at like 18 minutes. So we did it. That was fun. This is fun. I hope you guys loved it. I hope you keep listening. I hope it keeps growing. I hope you keep, sharing it to your texting it to your friends that this resonated with you. I hope that you go and like our Instagram, follow us everywhere so you can keep up with us more than just once a week if you want to, but also, if you don't want to, that's cool too.
If you have any struggles, share them with us.
Yep.
If you feel the same struggles, share them with us. That is the main thing why we're doing this, is so, like she said, so we don't feel alone. We don't want you to feel alone. We're here for you.
That was like something,
talking and chatting.
Yep. In the car with our coffees at the gym. Literally, the gym is like right there. I'm not going to show you. Or, if you're listening.
After this, that's where we're going.
If you're listening, we can't show you. But we're about to walk into the gym. And that was the major factor in starting the podcast was some of the things that I think we're going to be sharing with you, maybe even our closest friends didn't know, that we were struggling with. Like some of the things about keeping our house clean, about, just the exercising parts, and then the horrible, horrible, horrible things we were saying inside of our heads. We kind of shared a few to each other on some of our walks, and we're like, dang, there's probably other moms out there thinking these bad things. We need to figure out how to stop ourselves and then share the answers.
And so many people are saying that, social media, you're not, life isn't what it seems. Everyone's just sharing all the good.
Yeah.
They look like they have it put together. I may look like I have it put together, but I'm a hot mess express.
Well, and also, too, not even, the looking like you have it put together. It's, a lot of this is, feelings.
Yeah. The mental struggles. Yeah, and I think moms get so much shame for thinking things. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. They're held to a high standard, and we hold ourselves to a high standard. And it's just trying to work through it, and we're all human, and we are all doing the best that we can every day.
With the materials that we have. Yep. All right, we love you. Bye. We'll see you next week.